All right, let's dive into the essentials of amateur radio communication. Now, if you've ever tuned into the world of amateur radio, you might have heard the term band plan. So, what's a band plan? Well, think of it as a guideline, kind of like a suggested map for navigating different amateur bands. It's not enforced by law, but it's crucial for cooperation. Operators sort of use it to keep different activities or modes, like voice, digital, or Morse code, in their own defined spaces. This makes communication smoother and avoids stepping on each other's signals, which, yeah, could get pretty chaotic otherwise. Now let's talk about a term you'll hear a lot in amateur radio: simplex communication. Essentially, simplex means transmitting and receiving on the same frequency. Like, imagine you and a friend are talking across walkie-talkies. No fancy equipment routing your signal, just a straightforward back and forth on a single channel. Simplex is super practical for local communication. For instance, maybe you're coordinating with friends during a community event or, I don't know, even just chatting with someone in the next town over. It's direct, efficient, and honestly kind of fun when you get the hang of it. Okay, so moving on to calling procedures. This is where things get a bit more about etiquette and clarity. When you want to connect with another operator, the standard practice is simple. Say the other station's call sign first, and then identify with your own call sign. It's like saying, "Hey, I see you, now here I am." It keeps things organized and helps prevent any unnecessary confusion, especially in busy frequencies. These are the little habits that, kind of show that you're taking amateur radio seriously while making it enjoyable for everyone involved. And it's all part of fostering, a professional and friendly vibe on the airwaves. Let's talk about a challenge every amateur radio operator faces eventually: signal clarity. Sometimes you're transmitting, and the person you're trying to reach tells you your audio sounds distorted, or maybe even that it's unintelligible. Frustrating, right? But here's the thing: it's usually one of a few common culprits. For instance, maybe your transmitter's just a little off frequency. That's an easy fix. Most radios let you make fine adjustments to get things back on track. Or it could be your batteries. If they're running low, it can really degrade your signal quality. Oh, and location's another big one. If you're in a dead zone or surrounded by too many obstacles, it's going to mess with your signal strength. Now, the good news is these issues aren't too hard to troubleshoot. Let's say you're using a repeater, and someone says your audio sounds, well, kind of scratchy. First thing, check your gear. Maybe you just need to move to a clearer spot or tweak your equipment settings to fine-tune that broadcast. It's all about being aware of these little details. And speaking of being aware, selecting the right frequency is another key factor. Did you know that for FM simplex operations on the 2-meter band, 146.520 MHz is the national calling frequency? Yeah, it's sort of like a hub where operators listen in, ready to make contact. The idea is by knowing and using frequencies thoughtfully, you're contributing to a smoother experience for everyone on the air. So, managing signal clarity and monitoring frequencies boils down to having a solid game plan and honestly, some trial and error. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback on your signal. It's all part of how amateur radio operators learn and grow, right? All right, let's get into one of the most fundamental parts of amateur radio communication: the procedural signal CQ. Now, if you're brand new, you're probably wondering, well, what does CQ even mean? It's pretty simple. It's a call-out. You're basically saying, "Hey, is anyone out there listening? Come chat with me." It's an open invitation for contact, and it's one of those things that really makes amateur radio exciting. It's a great way to, connect with others and start a conversation. But before you just jump in and start calling CQ, there are a few steps you've got to make sure you're doing right. First thing, listen. Seriously, take a moment and just listen to the frequency. Someone else might already be there talking or connecting. And if it sounds clear, double check by asking, "Is this frequency in use?" It's like knocking before you enter a room. It's just good etiquette. And of course, you need to make sure you're authorized to use the frequency. This is where knowing your license privileges and the band plan really comes into play. It's all about being, responsible and respectful as an operator. Once you've done all that, great. You're ready to put out a call, And honestly, that first CQ can feel a little nerve-wracking for beginners. But trust me, it's so worth it. I remember hearing a story from a young operator, brand new to amateur radio, who called CQ for the very first time. And eventually, someone answered. And it wasn't just anyone. It was a seasoned operator who, welcomed them, guided them through the conversation. It's moments like that that make you go, wow, I'm part of this incredible community. And honestly, those experiences make all the prep work feel like totally worth it. So, whether you're calling CQ or just responding to someone else's call, it's about building those connections, sharing knowledge, and just, enjoying the art of communication. And on that note, folks, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. It's been great sharing these insights, and I hope you've learned something valuable that you can bring to your next on-air conversation. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the airwaves.